Straight out of Nanrong City, Awakening Day is here with a giant rift tearing through the sky. Inside the bus, everyone's just living their normal lives while our MMC is totally zoned out in his own thoughts. Freaking out with his eyes wide open, the kid almost falls backward, unable to believe what's going down. Looking around at the crowd, Zhang Yan realizes he actually traveled back in time. It suddenly clicks that it's graduation day, right when the whole class is about to awaken their classes. With a smirk, our boy remembers there are only 2.5 years left before the entire city goes down the drain. In his past life, bizarre monsters poured out of these rifts and absolutely wiped out humanity without mercy. Trying to fight back with guns and missiles, humans quickly found out that magic completely canceled out their firepower. Over time, people figured out that turning 18 meant you could awaken a class and get some insane powers to go toe-to-toe with the beasts. So society completely changed after 5 years of intense warfare and heavy losses. Nowadays, every student has to head to the Rift Tower to find out what their destiny is going to be. Divided into combat, support, and crafting, the frontline warriors are treated like rock stars, while the crafters are treated like walking punchlines. In his past life, our hero had the worst luck ever and pulled a rank F crafting class right off the bat. But his secret modification skill was totally broken, letting him change item names and turn literal trash into god-tier relics. By revealing this power way too early, the kid got dragged away by the corporate suits to work like a machine. Forced to craft divine gear non-stop, he became the system's absolute cash cow. But with so much power in his hands, the bigwigs got terrified and locked the kid up under house arrest. Until a level 96 dragon invaded the city the exact moment Jiang hit level 70, smelling like a total setup to wipe our guy off the map. Right as he was about to kick the bucket, the MC used his modification on a revival skill and rose from the ashes. Just then, the bus announces they've arrived at the Rift Station, and everyone gets ready to hop off. With this second chance in his pocket, our hero decides he can't trust anyone but himself. In this new life, the game plan is clear: keep the divine power totally under wraps. Keeping his mouth shut is the only way to keep his family and friends safe from the big fish. With a grin on his face, the goal now is to grind in secret, get super OP, and save the whole city. Outside, the Awakening Plaza is packed with anxious students waiting for the moment of truth. In the crowd, the squad is shaking in their boots, terrified of pulling a garbage support class. Looking like an absolute boss, our main guy draws praise from the crowd, who are all fangirling over his genius talent in martial arts and magic. The resident hater and class runner-up, Yang Hongwei, tries to downplay the kid by saying good grades don't mean a good class. Totally focused, the kid doesn't even care about the snarky comments that even a prodigy can get the worst skill. Soon enough, the teacher calls Jiang Yan up to set an example and lead the school line. On his way to the altar, the teacher tells him not to sweat it and just touch the crystal ball to let the magic happen. Over the mech, the official announces the school star's name for the whole world to hear. Firm footsteps echo across the stage while the tension in the room goes through the roof. Standing right in front of the magic circle, our MC stays cool because he already knows exactly what's gonna pop up. In the audience, the girls are rooting for a relentless warrior, while the haters are praying he ends up as a construction worker. Wasting no time, the kid reaches out to the crystal surrounded by purple energy. Immediately, a blinding golden light explodes across the entire plaza. With magical winds swirling around him, the process hits its peak. And to everyone's absolute shock, the screen projects the class Tinkerer in massive letters. Showing zero mercy, the system confirms the disaster, labeling it as a rank F crafter, the absolute bottom of the barrel. Freaking out, the teacher grabs his head, unable to believe his best student flopped so hard. Meanwhile, his rivals bust out laughing, pointing fingers and totally roasting his downfall. Laughing until he's out of breath, the runner-up celebrates the fall of the guy who outshined him for 3 whole years. Trying to make him feel better, the official says opening a repair shop still makes bank and is way better than becoming a farmer. But suddenly, the crystal starts glowing intensely in our hero's hand again. Totally shook, the official yells out that a second class is about to awaken. Full of hope, the teacher starts praying that this new power is going to save the day. Suddenly, an explosion of green energy shoots up to the sky, showing the kid's got talent to spare. Except the big screen shows no mercy and slaps the word farmer right in everyone's face. With a double F locked on the status screen, the magic drops the final nail in the coffin of our warrior's destiny. Jaws on the floor, the crowd can't wrap their heads around how a genius managed to pull 2 useless classes at once. Losing their minds, the rivals howl with laughter at the prodigy's garbage man and gardener combo. Showing zero reaction, Jiang walks down the stairs while everyone whispers in pity. Among the students, it's all the same talk, mourning how the greatest talent of their generation just turned to dust. Feeling the weight of their judgment, our MC walks solo across the huge courtyard. But away from the spotlight, A wicked grin pops up on his face as he remembers his ultimate trump card. With his hand in his pocket and a lot of swagger, he knows these weak classes are just a minor detail. Quickly, his internal panel reveals his divine skill, changing any word in names and items for 100 mana. Right then and there, he spends the energy and deletes the farmer's growth acceleration, swapping it straight into pure revival. Change confirmed, the skill now brings back the fallen and heals any injury, straight up breaking the rules of the universe. Fully aware of how broken this is, the kid guarantees this will be his ultimate safety net against a game over. Standing in front of the academy's giant screen, he sets his sights on the freshman rankings. Fueled by ambition, he promises to take the #1 spot in everything and crush the prejudice against low ranks. Driven by the desire to win, our hero decides that in this life, he's climbing to the top without relying on any big shots. Heading to his next stop, he arrives at the rookie training base, a place packed with captive, bred monsters. Focused on the perfect grind, he knows this is the ultimate spot to farm experience without taking risks. Breaking records here also guarantees sweet extra points to get into the best colleges in the country. Now, the goal is to raid the dungeon, clear out the monsters, and absolutely shatter the competition's time. At the entrance, the guard checks the kid's file and is mind blown by the bizarre rarity of a double F. Worried about the kid's safety, the soldier asks if he's really sure about tackling this solo. Putting a hand on his shoulder, the officer insists that a weak class like his needs a team, so he doesn't become monster snacks. Cutting the small talk, Jang puts his foot down and tells the guy to just hand over the starter gear already. Sighing heavily, the guards think the ex-prodigy is just in denial and looking to get himself taken out in there. Beaten by his stubbornness, the soldier hands over the survival kit with a longsword and some leather boots. Noticing right away the extra boots that weren't there in his past life, our hero catches the guard's good intentions before the brawl begins. With the basic gear in hand, the little stat screen shows an iron sword with 5 attack and basic boots with 3 speed. Even while appreciating the kindness, our MC realizes he's being completely underestimated because of his trash class. Right after that, the giant metal gate starts opening with a deafening screech. Heading into combat with the sword on his shoulder, the kid hears the guard's final warning to call for backup if the rabbits corner him. With a casual wave, the kid thanks him for the heads up as the massive metal door slams shut behind him. Locked inside, our boy makes a silent promise that those guards are going to be eating their words real soon. Not wasting any time in the dark, the kid activates his innate modification skill to give his stuff a nice little upgrade. Instantly, the iron sword becomes a steel blade with 10 attack, and the old shoes turn into boots of the wind with an insane speed boost. Eyeballing the gleam of his new blade, the MC thinks he could even craft a holy sword if he wanted to be completely broken. But remembering the arena's security cameras, it's better to keep it low-key to avoid unwanted attention from the higher-ups. After all, the scars from his past life made it crystal clear how dangerous it is to flex your talent to the world. Even knowing that modified level 1 items have a power cap, for early game grinding, this is more than enough. Crossing the portal of light, the warrior enters the arena, which is split into basic, advanced, and boss zones. In the bushes, dozens of red eyes glow in the dark, giving away the low-level monsters. To beat the dungeon record, the challenge requires invading the final territory and slicing up the dreaded Rabbit King. Sporting sharp teeth, the big-headed level 1 rabbits show up furious, ready to dish out some brutal headbutts. Sword in hand, our kid's goal is to grind to level 5 today by taking out at least 100 of these pests. Full of rage and sharp teeth, the beasts jump the invader without a second thought. Totally out of control, the horde of savage rodents rushes at the kid, swarming the entire floor. Focused on the game plan, he knows he needs to hit level 5 to unlock the next area with the Cyclone Wolves. Mid-leap from a monster, the MC gets ready, remembering that the wolf base is a nightmare for rookies, but perfect for him. With a precise and crazy fast slash, his new steel sword slices through multiple monsters at once, scattering magic dust everywhere. In the middle of a hurricane of blades, the kid clears the stage while aiming for level 10 to unlock his true legendary skill. This level 10 skill is a total god tier cheat, capable of creating and taming the most dangerous beasts on the planet. Focused on the win, our MC is absolutely certain that no one is going to stop his glow up this time. Back at the city high school, the bully Yang Hongwei must be doing his own class awakening right about now. In the center of the main altar, the announcer calls the hater's name while the whole class watches closely, sweating bullets. The rich kid is just praying for anything above a rank F so he can flex on our hero. Just then, an insane yellow flash eats up the stage, showing that something heavy is on the way. In glowing red, the title Berserker shines on the arena's magic screen. With success in the bag, the panel displays a rank A combat class, making the rich boy scream with joy, acting like he owns the world. Totally floored, the crowd whispers that the school's eternal runner-up finally managed to come out on top. Pointing his finger to the sky with a massive ego, the jerk tells everyone to forget he was ever someone's sloppy seconds. With a creepy smile on his face, his master plan is to take over the school and stomp on anyone who gets in his way. Giving a huge thumbs down, the punk yells to the wind that the #1 throne belongs to him now. Around him, his yes men start laughing and roasting our MC, asking how the poor rank F is gonna defend himself now. Laughing out loud with his crew, Yang complains that the double F joke pulled a disappearing act right on the day of his big show. Pointing toward the exit, one of the chubby goons snitches that he saw the MC running straight to the rookie training base. With his whole gang behind him, the bully pretends he's going to help his classmate, just to get the sick satisfaction of publicly humiliating the kid. Wide-eyed, the teacher knows the rich kid's only goal is to beat up and mock the low-class student. In the back of the teacher's mind flashes the image of our boy studying alone in the classroom late at night while it poured rain outside, pushing himself on the track until he almost passed out from exhaustion. The kid's hustle was always enough to break anyone's heart. Not making a single peep in the extreme pain magic simulation room, the warrior proved that he never lacked dedication. With a lollipop in his mouth and a smug look, the school's second biggest genius knows an F grade isn't gonna hold back his eternal rival's true potential. Known as Wang Qingfeng, the overall vice leader of martial arts has mad respect for our MC and doesn't buy into the haters' cheap talk. Staring into the distance, the purple-haired swordsman guarantees to himself that nobody knows his rival's true hustle better than he does. Back in the freshman tournament, the showdown between the two was an insane endurance test in the combat arena. Even all bruised and battered, Zhang Yan's unbreakable determination ended up winning his opponent's eternal respect. Sucking on his lollipop, the swordsman decides to tail the bully's squad, just to make sure nobody pulls any dirty tricks on his rival. With a hand in his pocket and a bad boy pose, his rule is simple: if anyone lays a finger on his rival before he does, they're getting a monumental beatdown. Back in the dungeon, our MC is catching his breath on a rock after dicing up over 100 monsters back to back. Sitting on top of a massive mountain of rabbit bodies, the kid is just waiting for the final boss to spawn so he can hit level 5. Out of the dust pops the terrifying level 5 Rabbit King, flexing a giant crystal horn and glowing red eyes. Sitting at nullity, 4% experience and totally wiped out, our boy knows his internal injuries are gonna make a straight up fight pretty tough. Charging energy in its flaming horn, the beast gears up for a crushing close range attack. Like a literal ground missile, the monster tears up the floor, charging right at the kid. Activating his wind boots to dodge the impact, the MC's big brain has already cooked up the perfect strategy to secure an effortless win. Covered in flames, the giant rabbit triggers its special flaming headbutt skill, locking onto its target. With a snap of his fingers and a sarcastic smirk, the kid activates his mod power the exact second the beast attacks. On the system screen, the flaming headbutt skill is surgically edited into self-detonate flaming head. Completely clueless, the beast feels its own crystal horn charge up way past its breaking point. Suddenly, a massive fiery explosion goes off, turning the boss's head into straight-up ashes. Shielding his face from the hot wind, the kid gets the system notification confirming he just leveled up to level 5. On the arena's outdoor jumbotron, the system message flashes, announcing the new all-time record of 26 minutes and 9 seconds. Jaws dropping at the arena door, the rich kid's crew almost passes out when they see the old one. Our record got chopped in half. Gritting his teeth in pure rage, the bully screams that a double F trash could only have hacked the system to pull this off. Staring at the screen, his yes men agree that exposing this cheat will nuke the ex-prodigy's reputation once and for all. With his arms crossed and a mean mug, the rich kid swears he's gonna crash the place and rip the fraud's mask off by force. Meanwhile inside, a green healing aura coats our boy's body, patching up all his wounds in seconds. Looking ahead, the image of the fearsome giant storm wolf pops into the warrior's mind as his next target. Gripping his steel sword tight, the kid remembers perfectly how much of a headache this beast gave him in the previous timeline. Marching toward the exit, the hero swears he's gonna collect every penny of that payback, plus interest. Standing before the massive front of the new dungeon, the kid stares down the famous rookie slaughterhouse with zero fear. In the dark cages, killer wolves ranging from level 6 to 9 growl with red eyes, all led by the level 10 king. Knowing full well that any regular newbie who steps in there becomes dinner in seconds, the kid gears up to face the brutal strength of these savage beasts. On the other side of the massive entry gate, the rewards from the wolf training base promise to be absolutely insane. Surviving this spot means farming experience like never before, with the bonus of jumping straight to level 10 if he takes down the pack leader. For your average rookie, hitting level 10 is an exhausting grind that usually takes at least 10 days of pure sweat. However, slicing everyone up in this danger zone will guarantee that level jump in just a few hours so our boy can awaken his second skill. Plus, bagging this achievement guarantees him a VIP pass to grind solo in the wild without needing a babysitter. Blown away by the kid's guts, the guard on duty asks if he's really sure about going in solo, since only high-level squads even dare to step foot in there. The soldier flashes back to a tragic case of a rank A genius who tried to play solo hero, ended up totally wrecked, and even missed his college entrance exams. Giving the kid a nasty look, the guard asks if a useless double F rank just came here to end his own run. With a chill smile, our boy thanks the vet for caring but lets him know his mind is totally made up. Out of patience for the stubbornness, the guard pops the gates open and tells the kid to just go get slaughtered if that's what he really wants. Calm footsteps echo as the hero steps into the hallway, completely ignoring the guard's insults, which just sound like a stray dog barking to him. Creepy growls echo across the dunes, proving the fire wolves aren't rolling out the welcome mat. Skipping the warm-up, the kid sprints toward the open field, ready to get the party started. Holding his steel sword with style, the MC greets his old pals, hungry to take his new blade for a spin. Up in the watchtower, the guard watches the scene, laughing at the supposed stupidity of the rank F kid. Sneering with a dirty look, the guy is dead certain the kid is just another arrogant fool about to become dog food. But throwing logic out the window, the kid's blade pulls off a flawless double slash, dicing up the first wolves instantly. Completely shell-shocked, the guard grabs the railing, unable to process how this trash is fighting so effortlessly without even popping any magic skills. Cold sweat drips down the soldier's face as he considers the crazy possibility that the kid is actually a hidden prodigy. Not long after the massacre kicks off, puddles of monster juice cover the dry sand of the dungeon. Perched on top of a massive pile of wolf bodies, our hero takes a breather, his sword planted right at the peak. Mouth wide open and eyes popping, the security guard confirms to the universe that the kid is an absolute monster of talent. Afraid of looking like a clown, the officer decides to quietly dip before the kid walks out and decides to settle the score for earlier. Panting in glowing green, our hero knows he would have bought the farm dozens of times if it wasn't for his broken revival trick. On the blue system screen are the details for the revival magic, which instantly heals fatal injuries for 100 mana. Analyzing the fight, the kid realizes these wolves have speed and strength stats way beyond the rabbits from the first zone. Wiping the mess off his face, he feels the physical toll of the hits he took, but he couldn't care less. Yanking his sharp sword out of the last downed wolf, his only focus right now is the boss rolling up on him. With a cold gaze and purple eyes glowing with determination, the MC's mind is locked onto his plan to rewrite the world's fate. Through the dust, a massive silhouette with green eyes steps up, letting him know it's time for the real boss fight. Flashing its sharp fangs with a furious roar, the pack leader gears up to shred the invader. Through the panel, the system IDs the level 10 Storm King Wolf, rocking a passive running speed boost. Ice cold in his breakdown, the kid remembers this beast pack's two nasty skills, slicing claws and acceleration. Breaking down the enemy's moveset, the stats show ranged attacks dealing wind-based slashing damage. Thinking fast, the hero figures out he can't mess with these wind powers without risking bugging out his own mod skill. No time for theories, the beast blitzes like lightning straight at the kid, slicing through the dust with its claws. In a quick, cocky move, the kid just rips off his own shirt to get better mobility for close quarters combat. Shirtless and showing off his scars, our boy decides to settle this beef the old-fashioned way, a straight-up brawl. Throwing a high-speed, devastating strike, he dodges the monster's lunge by mere millimeters. Leaping high toward the sun, the kid proves to everyone exactly why he was always number one in high school martial arts. Sword raised with maximum power, he drops like a meteor, slicing through the air right at the Wolf King's neck. Outside the rabbit dungeon, spooked students celebrate dodging a game over by calling the rescue squad right in the nick of time. Sprawled on the cold floor from exhaustion, the bullies led by Yang Hongwei are shaking in their boots after getting absolutely clapped by basic mobs. Annoyed by their recklessness, the guards dish out a heavy lecture to the rich kids for crashing the advanced zone with zero prep. Face covered in dirt and pride totally bruised, the bully cries tears of rage, unable to fathom how the MC cleared that zone solo. Taking his frustration out on his own buddy, the rich kid punches his goon, insisting that Zhang Yan only won by using cheat codes. But the loser's humiliation hits a new peak when the main screen lights up, revealing that Zhang Yan just soloed the Wolf King in record time. Totally speechless, the idiots stare at the big screen, seeing the clear time was just slashed by a hoping 30 minutes. Back turned to the group with his blood boiling, the bully tries to hold back his rage, chuckling nervously at this crushing defeat. With a wicked grin and gritted teeth, the jerk's twisted mind decides to use this insane record as proof of hacking to get the kid banned. Dragging his crew to the neighboring dungeon in a rush, the villain plans to expose and completely ruin the hero's rep in front of everyone. Back on the battlefield, The steel sword is planted straight into the skull of the colossal Storm Wolf King. Panning under the blazing sun, our MC celebrates hitting the much anticipated level 10 and awakening his new innate power. On the blue system panel, new skills called durability and plant grafting pop up, unlocked for the double rank F. With his eyes gleaming at the prize, the hero pops his word, modding trick to change the name of his new farming power. Using his word editing cheat, he swaps plant grafting for universal grafting, the legendary divine skill for beast fusion. According to the system, universal fusion lets you mash two monster species together to create way stronger mutations. Knowing how broken this potential is, he plans to max out the skill so he gets a 100% success rate on making divine monsters. In the kid's imagination, he sees high-rank beasts fusing to spawn rank S dragons capable of sweeping entire armies. On top of that, using a rare tamer scroll, he'll be able to seal an eternal loyalty contract with these absurd creations. Sword on his shoulder, the kid already pictures himself walking ahead of colossal beasts, ready to crush any enemy for him. With a dark look, the boy remembers his past life's achievements, where he was just used as a puppet by the powerful folks. In his mind, the shadow of the old masters who enslaved him only acts as fuel for his relentless payback. Chest out and covered in the downed wolves' mess, the hero shows that now he's the one calling the shots. Satisfied with today's massive haul, our boy decides it's time to scoop up the loot and get out of there. But right before leaving, he notices the Wolf King dropped a super rare green magic crystal, perfect for upgrading item stats. Knowing the training-based treasures belong to the school association, the plan now is to use his level 10 status to farm out in the wild. In the open world, everything he loots goes straight into his pocket, totally solving his cash problems for buying new gear. Letting out a groan of pain while touching his bruised chest, the kid realizes minor injuries don't trigger the auto heal from his revival. Flat broke without a dime to pay the hefty bill at a magic hospital, the kid is stuck in a dead end for healing up. With a bizarre smile on his lips, the most logical solution that crosses his mind is simply to unalive himself to trigger the free revival heal. But looking at the guards patrolling the dungeon exit, ending his own run right there would cause a totally unnecessary scene. Sneaking a U-turn, the MC decides to find a nice, quiet, isolated corner to pull off his strategic exit from the mortal coil in peace. A little while later, the hero walks out the main gate of the training base, fully recovered from all the pain and rocking fresh clothes. Back in the noisy city plaza, the crowd of students chatters anxiously about the next tests, while the MC walks right through them with his head held high. Back in the central plaza, our MC gets curious seeing a massive crowd gathered outside. Pointing a finger right at him, a student yells out to the crowd, letting everyone know that's the guy who smashed the record. With his sword on his shoulder, the kid figures out all these people gathered here just to see who humiliated the previous record. Under all those watchful eyes, our MC realizes it'd be a terrible idea to pop his revival skill to heal right now. Feeling the chest wound bleeding a bit more, the kid knows if he uses healing magic in front of everyone, his secret goes right down the drain. Walking silently through the plaza, his top priority now is finding a quiet corner to shake off the gossips. Suddenly, an angelic, golden glow takes over the area, grabbing everyone's attention in the plaza. Spreading giant golden wings, the richest girl in school floats in the middle of the courtyard, flexing a divine aura. Jaw dropped by the spectacle, the students whisper in shock that this is the rank S support class, Holy Angel. Identified as Yokexin from the legendary Ya family, the girl channels her purifying light magic. Whispers spread fast, revealing that the noble Harris decided to show up in person to train in the dungeon. Bathed in the healing light coming from her wings, our MC feels his internal injuries close up in the blink of an eye. With a calm and curious look, the noble stares closely at the boy after wrapping up her restoration spell. Totally pain-free, the kid politely thanks her for the unexpected assist as he walks past. As a way to pay her back for the heal, he promises to use his crafting skills to fix her gear for free in the future. Super friendly with a sweet smile, the Harris welcomes the deal with open arms, saying she'll definitely cash in that promise if her weapons ever break. Shoving his way through the crowd like a brute, the hater Yang Hongwei shows up spitting venom to ruin the vibe. Yelling for the whole plaza to hear, the bully points his finger and tells everyone not to fall for the MC's lies. From the top of his makeshift soapbox, the rich kid accuses Jiang of fraud, telling everyone that a double F trash crafter could never win fair and square. In the plaza, whispers start boiling with gossip that the crafting class really does have zero combat power. Arms wide open in a mocking gesture, the villain insists the MC's record is pure fake news pulled off with stolen gear. Sporting a cynical grin, the jerk provokes him, saying our MC resorted to dirty tricks out of pure jealousy for never beating his grades. Pointing at the hero in front of everyone, Yang claims the kid comes from a broke family and wouldn't have the cash to buy expensive items legally. Practically spitting with rage, The villain accuses the boy of stealing the financial aid the school gives to students in need. Buying into the rich kid's lies, the students start thrashing the MC, thinking he's a shameless scammer. Totally chill and rocking his usual sly grin, our MC asks what the plan is to prove the truth. Chest puffed out with pride, the bully challenges the kid to a one-on-one with no weapons, fully believing he's gonna pulverize the rank F in a fistfight. Worried about the cheap shot, the Yo family Harris steps in, telling the MC not to fall for the rank A bully's dirty trick. With a friendly nod, the kid thanks the girl for caring but lets her know he's already got this figured out. Dropping his heavy sword to the floor with a dull thud, the kid accepts the bare knuckle challenge, much to everyone's panic. Staring daggers, Jiang's decision is to wipe out this arrogant rich kid once and for all to clear his path for leveling up. Surrounded by a monstrous red aura, the rich kid laughs at the MC's guts, reminding everyone that his rank A berserker class is unbeatable. Screaming like a maniac, the villain pops his battle fury, boosting all his physical stats at the cost of a little health. Facing off in the empty plaza, the sheer difference in physical presence between the two has the crowd bracing for the worst. Not showing an ounce of fear, our MC just mocks his rival's hyped-up pose, telling him to brace himself for the incoming hit. Totally focused in silence, the kid finds it hilarious when people try to measure strength just by rank letters. Calmly cracking his knuckles, the hero is dead certain that his opponent's rank A class is nothing but a toy compared to his real power. Dropping into a classic martial arts combat stance, today's lesson is that a real genius hits hard even without an active class. Fists on fire, the brute charges like a mad bull, throwing a straight punch meant to flatten the hero. Wringing her hands in distress, the Yao family Harris hates how unfair a fight between a combatant and a crafter is. Barefoot and planted firmly on the ground, the MC's only concern was returning the school's weapons so nobody could suspect full play. Totally unarmed and free of any modded gear, he's relying purely on his refined fighting technique from his past life. Blinded by rage from his rival's disrespect, the bully throws all his body weight into a killer punch aimed right at the hero's jaw. Smoothly shifting his head a few millimeters to the side, the kid dodges the brutal hit, leaving the bully looking completely clueless. Going totally berserk over the miss, the berserker burns more energy, throwing another wild, flaming hook. Unleashing a frantic flurry of punches into the air, the bully's goal is to corner the kid purely on speed. Leaving after images in the plaza, the hero dodges every single attack with an absurd amount of grace and lightness. Watching the fist scrape past his face with ice-cold calm, the MC admits the rank of berserker's strength is actually pretty impressive. Sliding nimbly under the giant's arm, the hero drops the truth about real fighting in a totally mocking tone. Popping up behind his rival like a ghost, the kid lets him know that punching the air just tires you out, and he already figured out his pattern ages ago. Landing a crisp, direct punch right to the brute's ribs, the sound of a bone snapping echoes loud, totally spooking the crowd. Eyes locked on his opponent's misery, the hero seals the win without breaking a single drop of sweat. Spitting out blood on his knees, the rich kid twists in pain, unable to accept that he got clapped by a mere rank F crafter. Passing out face first into the dirt, the fake champion gets rushed by his crybaby goons. Looking down with total superiority, our hero dusts off his hands, proving once again who the real school genius is. Completely stunned, the crowd freezes, watching a crafter wipe the floor using an elite warrior's face. Clapping his hands to get the dust off, the MC decides he's wasted enough time playing with trash and decides to bounce. Walking back toward the gate, the hero's goal now is to focus on scoring better gear before stepping into the Demon Lair's open world. Thinking about his divine word, editing cheat, crafting a legendary sword will be a piece of cake as soon as he gets his hands on any basic weapon. Scratching the back of his neck in doubt, the kid decides to take a stroll through the black market street stalls to buy whatever junk he can use as a base for an upgrade. Opening his palm to count his coins, the hero lets out a long sigh seeing he's more broke than a joke. Suddenly, the MC's spider sense goes off hard as he feels the wind from a sneak attack punch coming straight for his back. Without even needing to look back, he catches the incoming fist with his palm, flexing some inhuman combat reflexes. With his classic ironic smirk, the MC instantly recognizes the signature move of the guy trying to jump him from behind. Wearing a genuine smile, the blonde swordsman praises the sharp reflexes of the rival who ran the school for 3 straight years. Tossing a cold can of soda in the air, the blonde invites his rival to chill out a bit after all that drama. Taking a sip of soda together on the sidewalk, the swordsman admits he watched the fight from the front row and would have beaten up the bully himself if the MC had lost. Wiping his mouth after a chug, the blonde warrior doubles down that Jiang Yan is his only worthy rival in the whole school. Glancing out the corner of his eye, our MC returns the compliment, saying he knows perfectly well the rich rival is also hiding his true magic power. In both their minds, The memory of that epic freshman finals clash still shines as fresh as the day it happened. With his face all banged up in the simulation arena, the swordsman raised his hand, fairly calling it quits against his rival. Tipping the can back with a wave of nostalgia, the hero remembers that since that epic day, his rival always threw the match in the following years. Questioning the real reason behind the throne fights, he jokes that the rich rival just wanted to leave the scholarship for the broke kid in class. With an awkward chuckle and a pointed finger, the blonde denies the charity, claiming he was just scared of the MC's killer, ruthless look in the finals. Locking his piercing purple eyes on his rival, the MC's final question is if the blonde is gonna chicken out and hand him the win on a silver platter again at nationals. Rocking a confident smile and an intense stare, the blonde swordsman refuses to surrender, claiming he's gonna hit hard in the finals. Purple eyes meet red eyes in a tense stare down where both promise to leave everything on the table in their next clash. With a quick toast under the cherry blossoms, the friendly rivalry between the two prodigies is officially sealed. Pulling a black credit card out of his pocket, the blonde offers $2,000 to buy the secret speed guide for the Wolf Dungeon. Raising the can in the air as a goodbye, the rich kid walks off asking for the guide, while the MC checks the cash hitting his phone. Back turned to his departing buddy, our boy accepts the deal, keeping his eyes glued to the screen. Flashing a half smile, the hero swears to himself that he'll pay back the favor for this cash 10 times over down the line. With a clean $2,000 in his account, the kid decides he can finally go shopping at the Black Market Street stalls. Walking with his hands in his pockets and a light step, curiosity takes over about what hidden treasures are waiting for him. Deep in a dark alley surrounded by skyscrapers, the infamous junk black market runs far away from the eyes of the law, knowing most of the stuff sold there is basic trash. He knows finding any hidden relics is gonna take some digging. Putting his faith in his word, editing cheat, the kid knows nothing is impossible when you've got divine power in your hands. Stopping in front of a used weapons stall, his eyes lock onto a blue meteorite sword embedded with a wolf crystal. On the blue system screen, the meteorite sword shows level 10, 60 attack, and cyclone magic. Rocking shades and a grumpy look, the vendor asks for $18,000 for the busted weapon, scaring the MC with that insane price tag. Pointing to a regular blade right next to it, the kid asks the price, and gets told that one goes for $5,000. Through the panel, the system reveals the blue steel sword is level 10, packs 65 attack, and sits at 65% durability. Throwing out a bold offer, our MC proposes fixing the pricey meteorite sword for free in exchange for walking away with the blue steel one at zero cost. Totally skeptical, the merchant adjusts his shades, unable to buy that a mere student has the power to restore weapon durability. Channeling bright blue magic energy into his palm, the kid announces that the test will prove his worth, totally hiding that his real target is the cheaper sword. With a focused and calculating look, the master plan in his head relies purely on applying his mod to the blue steel weapon. Under the golden glow of his imagination, the cheap blue steel sword is about to morph into a legendary divine general's weapon. Suspicious of the trick, the guy crosses his arms and doubts some random crafter has mastered the delicate art of material reconstruction. Without breaking focus on his blue light magic, the kid calmly reveals his class is just a rank F tinkerer. From up the alley, the vendor scoffs, saying he's a rank D blacksmith himself and thinks pulling off that repair is next to impossible. Holding the blue meteorite blade, the vet starts giving a cocky lecture on the physics and complex magic behind weapons. The visual panel shows that when any item's durability hits absolute zero, the structure straight up shatters like glass. To fix that integrity, the process demands reading the weapon's internal magic circuits and rebuilding the connections one by one. With a wicked merchant's grin, the scammer warns that if the fix fails, the fine for ruining the meteorite sword is gonna run him $18,000. Watching the vendors hustle from afar in the crowd, the young Yahello stares at our MC, who's still completely chill. Worried about the rigged bet, the girl knows even the rank B blacksmiths in her family's guild struggle to recover item durability. Snatching the meteorite sword from the guy's hands without missing a beat, our hero tells the dude to keep his eyes peeled so he doesn't miss the show. Hands glowing with blue cybernetic energy, he remembers how back in the day, he lived to fix divine tier relics for the government's big shots. In his old life of servitude, his obsession with perfection made the kid grind his repair skill until he hit absolute mastery. Rocking a confident, winning look, he mentally gives thanks that this exhausting old habit just became his ultimate survival tool today. Suddenly, an explosion of blue light and cyber circuits wraps around the cracked blade, completely rewriting the metal's matter. Holding the newly fixed weapon with total ease, the hero makes fixing a basic level 10 item look like child's play. Blown away by how fast the miracle happened, the alley bystanders whisper that the kid in the school uniform is an absolute crafting god. Eyes wide with surprise, the young Yao realizes the MC's earlier offer to help wasn't just cheap talk to say thanks. Handing the shiny, scratch-free sword back to the vendor, the kid flexes the durability bar pinned right at 100%. Jumping for joy with dollar signs in his eyes behind those shades, the scammer hugs the restored weapon that's now worth a fortune. Handing over the promised blue steel sword with the biggest smile in the world, the merchant holds up his end of the bargain with zero complaints. With the prize finally in his hands, the MC's genius brain is already picturing the moment he rewrites the sword's code to craft his divine masterpiece. On the word editing panel, he locks onto the name blue steel to swap it out for the word Kingang. Caught in a golden hurricane, the cheap blue steel sword goes through its final magic mod transition. In the old legends, this was the holy blade wielded by the divine general who carved through entire armies solo 7 times in a row. Now holding a free divine tier weapon, our MC celebrates being able to save his $2,000 to pay for college. Staring blankly with a hint of sadness, the hero remembers the pain of his little sister, who's still mourning the tragic loss of their parents. Knowing he's got to support the little girl before heading off to the big university, his goal is to farm as much cash as possible to secure her future. Suddenly, a sweet, familiar voice echoes through the black market streets, calling the hero for a paid bodyguard gig. Stopping in front of Jiang, the Harris Yao Kexen offers a fat stack of $50,000 if he agrees to help her hit level 10. Without hesitating for a single second, our boy flashes a wide grin and takes the easy gig that just fell right out of the sky. With his purple eyes gleaming with greed, the kid celebrates seeing cash knock right on his door without him having to lift a finger. Pointing at the fixed blue meteorite sword on the stand, the girl tells the vendor she's buying the weapon on the spot. With his ego through the roof, the merchant charges $25,000, cashing in on the fact that the item now has perfect durability. Handing over a shiny storage ring made of solid gold, the rich girl makes the merchant sweat bullets when he realizes she's straight up royalty. Bowing all the way down to the floor in extreme respect, the vendor hands over the holy blade, terrified of offending the noble. With an ironic smirk, the MC thinks the poor vendor has never seen real wealth, which totally justifies dropping 50 grand with her eyes closed. Struggling to lift the heavy meteorite sword with her skinny arms, the girl embarrasses herself while the vendor celebrates his massive payday in the background. Thinking strategically, the warrior decides to use the rank S Angel's support buff to slice up the brand, new boss in the Wild Rift. Handing over the blue meteorite sword as a welcome gift for the MC, the girl blushes, begging him to accept the little present. Totally caught off guard by the rich girl's generosity, the kid finds the high-born girl's extreme politeness pretty funny. Skipping the formalities of accepting a pricey gift, the MC grabs the meteorite blade with ease, thanking her for the solid. Heart racing with joy, the girl focuses on her plan to build a good relationship with the MC, fully aware his future is going to be massive. Packing 2 colossal swords on his back with major hero vibes, the kid leads the young girl toward the training dungeon entrance. At the main iron gate of the rookie training base, the duo gears up to kick off the XP massacre. Whipping out insanely fast dual sword strikes, our MC carves through hordes of rabbits, power leveling the girl 3 levels in seconds. Sweeping through the advanced wolf dungeon at light speed, the duo shatters the arena's all-time record without taking a single scratch. On the city's main jumbotron, red letters flash, announcing the legendary hard mode clear pulled off by the 2 freshmen. In the middle of the plaza, gossip runs wild with the squad clueless as to how the rank F broke another record, and this time tagging along with the Yaw Harris. Eyes wide with panic, the students try to figure out if the mystery girl really belongs to the most powerful clan in the country. Shining with solid gold details, the Dali Chamber of Commerce crest pops up on the screen, reminding everyone that her clan runs the nation's finances. Panting from exhaustion in the middle of the dungeon desert, the girl asks the MC for a timeout to catch her breath before hitting level 10. With level 13 shining on his stats, the kid tells the girl to rest while walking so they don't mess up the fast farming pace. Deep in the dark heady out of the rift, giant blue eyes thirsty for blood glow in the shadows, revealing the dungeon's true final boss. With a bold plan in mind, our MC decides their next stop is the Flame Boar training base, the only one packing a rank C danger level. Standing in front of the new dungeon's titanic iron gate, the heavy, blazing, hot atmosphere proves the challenge here is on a whole other level. Knowing the kid's track record, the veteran guards try to warn him that the Boar King is infinitely more dangerous than the wolves and rabbits from before. Arms crossed with 2 swords on his back, the kid claps back saying the biggest risks bring the best payouts for anyone looking to level up fast. With a confident smirk aimed her way, the MC calms the Harris Yao Kexen, reminding the guards he's rolling with a rank S support. Sold on the freshman's determination, the officers pop the heavy doors open, wishing them good luck on their suicide run. Walking through the massive stone hallway, the duo thanks them for the good vibes as they push toward the boss's lair. Stepping into the dense forest blanketed in magic mist, the girl feels creeped out by the dead silence and the total lack of regular mobs on the way. Walking confidently on the damp grass, the kid explains to the angel that this special zone doesn't have any minions, just one single boss. Totally spooked by the reveal, the young girl grips her lightstaff tight, having no clue what to expect from a head-on fight against the boss. Suddenly, a violent tremor shakes the whole earth, signaling that the colossal beast just woke up from its nap. Out of the fog emerges the massive silhouette of the Boar King, flexing razor, sharp tusks and glowing blue eyes blazing with fire. Drawing his blue steel sword, our hero smirks, claiming that only a monster this size is worthy of throwing down with him. Sporting tusks that look like swords and a snout blowing hot steam, the Flame Boar King roars, whipping up a heavy wind. Through the panel, the system IDs the level 15 beast, packing a fire trample skill that can boil the air to 200 degrees. Gearing up for the charge, the hero tells the girl to stay sharp in the backline, ready to drop her healing buffs the second he calls for it. Hitting top speed through the shadows of the forest, the kid takes the lead and rushes into combat. Pulling off an insane acrobatic leap, he uses the trees to launch himself and attack the boar from its upper blind spot. Gliding upside down in the air, Jiang's goal is to use his own body weight to land a clean slice right on the monster's neck. Catching onto the aerial threat, the beast lets out a high-pitched squeal and triggers its own reflexes to parry the hit. With a deafening metallic clash, the boar uses its meteorite tusks to block the kid's mid-air strike. Surprised by the beast's agility, our MC praises the giant boar's brains for pulling off a flawless block. Riding the recoil in the air far from the angel's eyes, the hero whips out his blue steel sword to apply his secret mod. Activating the divine power in the blink of an eye, the basic blue steel sword morphs into the legendary Qinggang sword wrapped in magic. Dropping down with his new blade glowing in golden light, the hero's mental battle cry is that nothing in the world can stop this divine slash. On the new weapon spec sheet, crazy stats pop up: 300 attack and a passive that ignores armor, slicing through iron like butter. Satisfied with the upgrade's result, the kid knows that even as an incomplete copy, the power it puts out is more than enough to take out a god. Pulling off a high-speed deadly spin, he brings the blade down with 5 times the force, tearing right through the enemy's defense. Cutting through the Boar King's body like a golden lightning bolt, the tide of the fight flips in a fraction of a second. With a clean, brutal slash, the monster's toughest crystal tusk is chopped right off, landing straight in the dust. Panicking from the extreme pain and gushing monster juice, the giant boar stumbles, losing all its strength. Fast as a flash, the hero uses his mod to revert the sword's name back to blue steel before the girl can catch the cheat. Totally in disbelief, the angel's eyes go wide, unable to process how a cheap ranky sword managed to snap the boss's tusk. Blown away by the feat, the young girl's mind jumps to the conclusion that the secret isn't the weapon, but the kid's absolutely insane physical strength. Fangirling over his talent, she starts daydreaming that the MC has mastered legendary martial arts techniques that can outclass any combat class. Seeing the girl standing there with her mouth open, lost in silly thoughts, the kid lets out a sigh, knowing the fight isn't exactly over yet. Yelling out a warning, he tells the girl to drop the heal already so she can secure the XP from the final kill. Remembering her job as support, the angel Yahello channels her light magic, bathing her partner in regenerating energy. With his health topped off and the buff active, our MC charges at the stumbling Boar King to deliver the finishing blow. Looking at it cold and calculated, the hero realizes that popping his instant word, mod trick mid-fight, is the most broken combat strategy in the world. Gripping the sword handle tight, he thinks about editing the blue meteorite weapon's name into the blade of the meteorite god for the next hit. But weighing the risks of mental burnout or mana backlash from making something way too OP, the MC decides to play it safe. In pure desperation, the flame boar burns the last of its power, triggering a devastating blue fire charge. With a solid, subtle stance straight out of a Kung Fu master's playbook, our hero locks in, waiting for the head-on collision with the beast. Suddenly, a massive explosion of blue flames and dust eats up the battlefield, swallowing both fighters whole. Thinking fast in the scorching heat, the hero zeroes in on the monster's charge name to pull off his ultimate genius word cheat. With a serious deadpan tone, the kid tells his young partner to squeeze her eyes shut tight so she doesn't catch the magic trick. Spooked by the random request in the middle of all the chaos, the girl follows orders without having a clue what his endgame is. Squeezing her eyes shut tight, terrified of seeing a gory mess, the young angel shrinks back while putting total blind faith in the MC. Stretching his palm toward the blue flames, the hero fires up his word mod, locking onto the enemy's power. With a spot on finger snap, he edits the boar's destructive charge, turning it into a totally harmless, blue flame slow-mo. Completely confused with its body suddenly feeling like lead, the beast floats slowly like it's in slow motion, becoming the perfect sitting duck. Unleashing a double slash with his temporarily modded sword, Jiang Yan calls game over, slicing the monster right down the middle. Collapsing lifelessly to the floor, chopped in half, the colossal body of the flame board dissolves into smoke and gold coins. Pockets heavy with XP, our MC celebrates jumping 2 whole levels at once thanks to taking out the rank C boss. Opening her eyes, stunned by the insane XP drop, the angel Yahello cheers for leveling up 3 times in a row without doing a thing. Walking back to his partner with his swords on his back, the kid feels pretty good about keeping his divine secret perfectly hidden. Flashing a wicked little smirk, he figures this rich, obedient girl is the ultimate duo partner for carrying through future high-level dungeons. Standing in front of her, the kid lets her know the paid bodyguard gig is officially a wrap, and she's safe to open her eyes. Slowly opening her eyes from behind her long lashes, the young girl locks her vision onto the fading remains of the terrifying Boar King. Watching the boss's magic dust fade into the air, she confirms that the rank F kid just pulled off an actual solo miracle. Cheeks blushing with pure admiration, the girl heaps praise on her partner's brutal strength and flawless combat skills. Turning around to head for the dungeon exit, the kid announces the job is done, and it's time to pack up their junk. Staring at his back totally mesmerized, the Yahello is 100% certain that Jiang Yan is a legendary genius who honors his deals. Jogging after him to get his attention before he ghosts her, the young girl shyly asks the hero for a quick second. Holding out her hands politely, she offers the little box with the promised 50 grand payment, plus a special bonus. Eyes popping out of his head when he opens the gift, the MC locks his sights on a super valuable, glowing blue storage ring. The info screen pops up, saying this spatial ring straight up breaks the laws of physics, letting you stash any amount of weight in a vacuum. Waving off the pricey bonus with his hands up, the kid tells her the ring costs hundreds of thousands, and taking that much cash would be totally out of line. Flashing a sweet smile, the young angel insists he take the gift, saying the level up was worth every single penny of that prize. Thinking about his future plans to farm out in the wild, the kid admits an inventory ring would make his life 100% easier. Caving to the girl's begging, he accepts the spatial ring, giving a heartfelt thanks for the boss lady's generosity. As a way to make up for the $1 million gift, our hero promises her a VIP pass for one unconditional favor anytime she needs it in the future. Walking happily back to the city gates, the duo wraps up their training run with heavy pockets and power to spare. On the city center's giant screen, the freshman rankings update, showing the elite level 15 warriors leading the academy, setting the stage for the MC's next showdowns. Keeping an eye on the leaderboard, our MC knows holding onto the number 1 spot is going to be a dogfight, since the rivals right below him woke up with some seriously broken classes. Sitting at the top of the rival schools are legends like Li Yufeng, the rank S sword saint who's totally undefeated in close combat. Knowing the elite assassin Lu Yun is out there, the MC figures out the rank S kid is a master of lightning-fast ambushes. Arms crossed and twin swords on his back, the MC respects these legendary names, and is already gearing up to clash with every single one of them. With a solid, subtle stance straight out of a Kung Fu master's playbook, our hero locks in, waiting for the head-on collision against the beast in the finals. Sold on the freshman's determination, the officers pop the heavy doors open, wishing them good luck on their suicide run in the dungeon. Walking through the massive stone hallway, the duo thanks them for the good vibes as they push toward the boss's lair. Stepping into the dense forest blanketed in magic mist, the girl feels creeped out by the dead silence and the total lack of regular mobs on the way. Walking confidently on the damp grass, the kid explains to the angel that this special zone doesn't have any minions, just one single boss. Totally spooked by the reveal, the young girl grips her light staff tight, having no clue what to expect from a head-on fight against the boss. Suddenly, a violent tremor shakes the whole earth, signaling that the colossal beast just woke up from its nap. Pushing open the squeaky door of the simple house, the smell of a home-cooked meal welcomes the hero back to his real sanctuary. With a shy look of surprise, 15-year-old Zhang Yao greets her older brother while holding a winter coat. Sharp senses and a table set with humble food, the girl's silence speaks volumes about the trauma of losing their parents in the Wild Rift. Back when the family was together and happy under the sun, the little sister's smile was the brightest thing in the world. But the tragedy of losing their folks in the dungeon completely shattered the joy of that sweet childhood. Head down and poking at her bowl of rice, the little girl drops the bomb, saying she's planning to drop out of school for good. Totally blindsided with his chopsticks frozen in the air, the hero asks what could possibly drive such a drastic choice. With flawless grades in both martial arts and theory, throwing it all away right before the entrance exams makes zero sense to him. Looking him dead in the eye with a serious face, the girl admits she saw her brother's picture glowing at the top of the city's freshman board. voice dripping with pride. She praises her older brother's non-stop hustle, predicting he's destined to become the greatest hero in the world. Letting out a defeated sigh, the girl claims her own talent is basically dust compared to his. Shrinking back into her chair, her plan is to grab a regular job to help pay the house bills and put him through college. Rocking a stern, protective older brother look, our MC demands to hear the real reason behind this crazy sacrifice plan. Suddenly, the living room door pops open, revealing a middle-aged guy who instantly shatters the heavy family vibe. Scratching his head awkwardly after noticing the thick tension in the kitchen, the visitor asks if he should swing by later. Sitting on the simple living room couch, rubbing his forehead, the guy vents that his loan business is going under, which is why he came to collect. Recognized by the hero as Uncle Kwan, the visitor is the owner of the modest loan company the family borrowed cash from over the last 2 years. Glancing at his sister shrunk down in her chair, the kid finally puts the puzzle pieces together and figures out why she's so desperate. Staring sadly at the floor, the girl swallows her tears, knowing they don't have anywhere to pull the cash to pay off the debts. Aware of the struggle, she'd rather tank her own future working early than become a heavy burden on her brother's back. Cutting straight to the chase, Jiang turns to the debt collector and asks for the exact total they've racked up during this rough patch. Scratching his arm looking uncomfortable, the guy admits the principal balance, without the crazy interest, already tops $43,000. Handing the card loaded with 50 grand right to the guy, our MC tells him to keep the generous change to cover the interest. Jaw on the floor and eyes bugging out in shock, the little sister almost falls out of her chair, totally clueless about where all that cash came from. With a sneaky side glance, the MC knows he's got to cook up a solid excuse to chill the girl out without spilling his secrets. Catching the whole secret family business vibe, the veteran collector nods, showing he got the silent hint to make himself scarce. Saying a quick goodbye with a friendly smile, the guy pockets the card and promises to have the family's back with whatever they need down the line. The second the door shuts, the little girl tearfully confronts her brother, terrified he might have gotten mixed up with some shady stuff for the cash. Gently ruffling her hair with a soft touch, the hero swears that every single penny of that money was earned 100% legit. Flashing a huge, proud smile, the kid announces the new game plan is to claim the #1 spot on the city leaderboards and snatch the 300 grand prize. Looking at her with total warmth, the hero swears his little sister will never have to think about sacrificing her own life for money ever again. Breaking down in tears of pure relief, feeling totally understood, the girl sobs uncontrollably, clutching her hands to her chest. Handing a card with the leftover balance straight to her, the hero tells the girl to just focus on buying whatever she wants from now on. Flexing his most genuine and happy smile, he hypes the girl up to put 100% of her focus into studying and training to get strong. Playfully messing up her hair, the kid warns her she's got to train hard so she doesn't embarrass herself as the city champion's sister. Drowning in tears of pure gratitude and happiness, the girl's face shows that the weight of the world has finally been lifted off her shoulders. Jumping into her brother's arms for a tight, teary hug, the youngest sibling promises to bring eternal pride to their family name. Resting his chin on her head with a determined glare, the kid swears to himself that the #1 throne in the city already has an owner. Rocking a confident smirk, the MC's genius brain zeroes in on the wild zones outside the human-safe area as the ultimate farming spot. On the lobby's bulletin board, the intel on Poison Dragon Valley points to a toxic hotspot crawling with dangerous mobs. Urban legends say that right in the heart of this lush ravine, rare creatures carrying ancient dragon bloodlines make their home. In the shadows of the corrosive forest, the imposing silhouette of a dragon hints that only the most hardcore hunters should even step foot in there. According to the MC's master plan, scoring an egg from this species will let him use his universal graph to create an unbeatable pet. Besides focusing on crafting his ultimate battle buddy, he's aiming to scavenge rare stones that fetch a fortune on the weapon black market. With pure determination shining in his eyes, the warrior decides Poison Dragon Valley is going to be his starting point in the wild world tomorrow. At the bus terminal, the automated voice announces they've arrived at the mysterious rift station of the Demon Cave. Standing in front of the armored portal, our boy knows the competition for mercenaries and pro hunters has already locked down the area. From the top of the base's iron walls, red lights bounce off the magic barrier separating the safe zone from the monster hellscape. Guarded by magic cannons and high-voltage shields, the military garrison makes sure no monster ever breaches the city. According to old rumors, this border used to be run by corrupt level 70 generals who exploited the labor of the weakest crafters. Passing through the gate's checkpoint, the lobby is packed with elite soldiers flexing platinum armor and high-end heavy weapons. Totally unfazed by everyone else's gear, the kid smirks, knowing the spatial ring Yahello gave him is worth more than that entire lobby combined. Stopping in front of the massive east exit gate, the hero zeroes his vision on the fastest route to crash the dragon's abyss. On the map's holographic projection, the hunting zones pop up, highlighting the Toxic Valley as the perfect spot for monsters level 18 and up. With a confident little half smile, the MC knows that's the prime territory to power farm XP without anyone getting in his way. Handing over his fake student ID labeled as a farmer to the border guard, the kid uses the perfect disguise to slip through without raising red flags. Eyes popping out of his head at the kid's sheer stupidity, the soldier yells that a solo double F trash is going to become Monster Cho in 2 minutes flat. Snatching his ID back with a chill nod, the kid thanks the guard for caring and promises he's coming back in one piece. Feeling his conscience nagging as he watches the kid march toward the abyss, the soldier decides to step in and stop what he thinks is a total suicide run. Reaching out lightning, fast to grab the kid's shoulder from behind, the guard tries to physically stop him right before the gate. But in the blink of an eye, the hero dodges the grab like a total ghost, leaving the guard's hand grabbing thin air in the middle of the lobby. Totally paralyzed with fear, the level 30 officer shakes, realizing a rank F freshman just effortlessly dodged his elite strike. Grabbing the captain by the arm, another guard runs up panicking, letting him know that kid is Narong's legendary record breaker. Back turned to the stunned lobby, our hero struts right into the abyss's red mist, leaving a whole squad of officers with their jaws on the floor. Back turned to the stunned lobby, our MC knows his flex is so insane that not even the awakened rank S legends from the past could pull off anything close to it. Standing before the dreaded Poison Dragon Valley, the acidic green fog covers the rocks, setting up a lethal stage for any invader. With an antidote pill glowing in his palm, he gets ready to pop the meds needed to survive the swamp's toxic air. Not wasting a second while the clock is ticking, the kid swallows the 50-buck pill, knowing he's only got 3 hours of immunity to farm. Swooping straight down from the twisted treetops, the level 13 poison-winged lizards attack aggressively with their razor-sharp jaws. With a clean and deadly double slash, the hero decapitates the monsters mid-air, racking up his first batch of XP in the dungeon. Stepping confidently over the lizards' bodies with a smirk, our boy celebrates the absolutely broken drop rate open world farming. Rushing to level up before the antidote wears off, the hero pops his innate modification skill. Turning his back to danger and dragging his blade infused with purple magic, he marches fearlessly into the thickest part of the forest. Unleashing a blinding blue light slash with his newly modded Kingang sword, the kid kicks off his real solo hunting season. Showing zero mercy to the swarms of poison spiders in seconds, the kid's XP bar completely explodes, launching him straight to level 16. Landing crushing blows against the giant carnivorous plants, the endless massacre bumps our MC straight up to level 17. By dropping heavy hits on the giant miasma toads, the hero hits a wild level 18 in record time. Sitting on a rock to catch his breath, the kid chugs a bottle of water while checking out his level progress. Letting out a long sigh of frustration, he complains that he cleared the whole zone of mobs, but didn't drop a single decent crystal today. Suddenly, a cocky voice coming from the shadows asks if he's the one who wiped out all those creatures alone, catching the kid off guard. Snapping his head around to look, the hero recognizes the elite assassin Lu Yuyun rolling up with his loudmouth sidekick. Under the purple glow of his wind assassin class, the young master of the wealthy Lu family glares at the MC with total disdain. Propping his foot on the rock with major attitude, the useless goon yells, insulting the MC for not answering Master Lu right away. Standing up calmly, resting his sword on the ground, our MC claps back at the disrespect, asking if it was the two of them who did all the heavy lifting. Blinded by rage at the rookie's nerve, the obnoxious servant screams that nobody has the right to talk to the Lu hair like that. Sticking his arm out to hold back his hyped-up goon, the lead assassin praises the MC's skills and offers him a spot on his squad. Walking briskly right past them with his sword on his shoulder, the kid coldly turns down the team, up and tells them both to kick rocks. Face twisted in anger, the lackey complains to his boss for not letting him beat the bratty kid to a pulp right then and there. With his eyes glowing purple in the shadows, the assassin admits the double F kid might be a real genius, but promises to give the attack order the next time they cross paths. Cracking his knuckles with a twisted smile, the evil servant celebrates the future chance to beat the MC down until he begs on his knees. Keeping an eye on the timer of his last protective pill, our hero decides to hunt down a few more giant toads to hit level 19 before bouncing. About an hour of silent hiking goes by as the hero sweeps the dark forest hunting for rare mobs. Looking bummed out in the middle of the toxic fog, the kid complains about not finding a single trace of the legendary local dragon. According to Valley lore, massive beasts with dragon blood are supposed to fly around here, but so far, not a single giant shadow has crossed the green sky. Suddenly, a giant purple flesh whip slices through the air, shooting straight for the MC's head completely out of nowhere. Thanks to his god-like reflexes to dodge the lethal strike, the kid draws his steel sword, throwing a defensive slash right at the monster's limb. Sliding back quickly on the sand, the kid realizes the mystery enemy's rubbery tail snapped back into the forest shadows. Looking totally shocked that his blade couldn't chop the thing's limb off, the kid is blown away by the enemy's biological armor. Out of the toxic mud, the shadow of a colossal toad leaps into the air, ready to flatten the hero under its massive weight. Landing with a violent tremor that shakes the earth, the beast shows off its giant legs covered in gross, venomous warts. The holographic panel pops up, identifying the terrifying level 20 miasma Toad King. Flashing a wicked smile of pure satisfaction, the kid celebrates finally finding the perfect boss to farm for high-value crystals. Firing its colossal purple tongue at the speed of a cannonball, the monster tries to wrap up the MC and swallow him whole. Leaving speed trails while dodging the flesh whips, our hero proves agility is his absolute strong suit in solo combat. With his eyes glowing purple in the shadows, the MC's genius brain has already mapped out the perfect counterattack using his editing cheat. On the system's blue screen, the toad's snare skill is surgically changed into self-tangling giant tongue, making the monster tie itself into a massive knot. Jumping high with his sword raised toward the immobilized target, the kid unleashes an aerial strike aimed right at slicing the beast's brain. But with a disappointing metallic clank, the steel blade bounces right off the amphibian's armored skin without leaving a scratch. Blowing a blast of destructive blue acid smoke, the Toad King breaks the word mod and frees itself from its own tongue, thanks to its high level. Getting chills down his spine while rushing to back up, the kid realizes the massive risk of trying to alter the powers of monsters way above his pay grade. Sliding through the mud with his wind boots to create some distance, he remembers that against bosses, the mod window is way too short and can fail when it matters most. Giving the kid zero room to breathe, the toad fires its purple flesh whip again, ripping through the forest air. Pulling off crazy acrobatic dodges between the toxic trees, the tension of the fight hits its absolute peak for the hero's survival. Closing his eyes for a split second to focus his mental energy, the MC's call is to risk it all on an insane high-level mod play. Channeling all his mana straight into his glowing spatial ring, the kid focuses on giving his blue meteorite sword the biggest upgrade of his life. Suddenly, an explosion of red flames and lightning consumes the meteorite blade, mutating the weapon into a straight-up weapon of mass destruction. On the edit screen, the cheat success flashes, showing off the new title Demon King's blade glowing in blood red. Surrounded by a storm of destructive red flames, the hero drops into his final attack stance, ready to turn the Toad King to ashes in the next second. From the center of the Demon King's blade, a creepy red eye pops open, and a furious ancient voice demands to know who dared summon him. Feeling the weight of the evil aura rotting his own hands, the kid knows he's gotta dice up the Toad King fast, before he loses total control. Unleashing a devastating horizontal slash coated in blood flames, the warrior lets out all the pent-up fury of the cursed sword. Suddenly, a rift of red light and fire rips the Toad King's body right down the middle, scattering guts and acid smoke all over the swamp. Collapsing to his knees in the mud totally drained, the kid gasps for air, seeing that a single strike just wiped out his entire stamina bar. Glowing red veins start creeping up the hero's arm, coming straight from the cursed handle of the sword. Fighting off the agony of demonic possession, the kid gathers his last bit of strength to focus his mod magic on the item. Lacking the strength to even hold his head up, he face plants right into the damp floor of the dark forest. Body completely paralyzed and energy at zero, panic sets in big time when he realizes he can't pop his divine power anymore. In the dead silence of the kid's paralysis, the demon's voice echoes from inside the crystal, totally mocking how weak the human race is. Suddenly, a massive projection of pure blood energy manifests over his lifeless body, coming to claim his soul. But far from throwing in the towel, a cybernetic blue glow lights up on the hero's wrist, showing he already prepped for the monster's backlash. Raising his basic steel sword in his other hand, the MC jams the blade straight into the demon eye crystal to kick the parasite out. Suddenly, a brutal blast of scarlet dust blows all the evil energy backward, violently breaking the spiritual link with the hero. Letting out a distorted scream of pure hate glitching through the system, the Shura spirit swears eternal payback, promising to drag the kid to hell the next time they meet. Wiping the sweat off his forehead as the red veins on his arm finally fade, the kid breathes a huge sigh of relief for breaking the invasion spell. Keeping an eye on the toxic sky, he plans to undo the sword's divine upgrade the second he gets some energy back to avoid raising any eyebrows. Feeling the heavy toll of the fight in his bones, the kid rests in silence, remembering he dealt with similar possession issues back in his past life. Back then, the enemy was the 9th Thunder King, a disaster so insane it took the strength of level 80 generals just to save the city. But thanks to that screw up from the past, The tactic of striking the weapon's spiritual crystal directly became his go-to-defense strategy. With doubts buzzing in his head, the kid wonders if these demon kings are just regular monsters or if they tie into something way darker. Staring down the now sleeping eye on the weapon's hilt, he's dead certain the universe is hiding secrets way more twisted than they let on. Getting up from the rock feeling refreshed, the MC pops open his storage ring and zeroes in on the loot from the Toad King he just carved up. Marching steadily toward the rotting beast's nest, the goal is to scoop up the rare riches that only a level 20 boss can drop. Right in the middle of the rocks, a high-density pink magic crystal floats in the air, radiating pure, concentrated energy. Grinning ear to ear over the miracle drop, the kid does the math and figures this level 20 stone is worth at least 100 grand on the hunter market. Holding out his magic inventory ring to suck up the giant toad's carcass, he hypes up over the insane amount of rare materials he just stockpiled. Planning to flip it for double under the table, the kid's goal is to fence all this gear in the black market underworld to score a massive payday. While counting his coins, he notices the system also logged the kill of an unknown entity during the brawl. With the double level up flashing on the blue screen, the hero celebrates hitting level 20 because he also sliced up the Shura parasite. Cooking up a crazy exploit in his head, the MC debates infinitely summoning and clapping the demon to fast, track his way straight to level 100. But remembering the very real risk of accidentally summoning the full demon and wiping the entire city off the map, the kid trashes that dangerous idea. Keeping it strictly professional, the kid decides some shortcuts just aren't worth risking his precious second chance at life. Looking at the new notification blinking on the system, the promise of snagging a new innate skill at level 20 officially becomes a reality. On the status panel, the power to dismantle low-level items and the farmer skill pest immunity unlock. Rocking a slick smile, the kid zeroes in on the pest skill, planning to use his mouth to swap out just one word and become totally invincible. Knowing the mana cost for total immunity is going to be off the charts, the MC pockets the trick as his ultimate do or die trump card. With a quick leap over the toxic branches, our hero kicks off his trip back to the toxic forest exit. From the top of a giant tree, the kid spots a sketchy shadow sneaking through the treetops down below. Eyes locked on the guy's build, the MC focuses his vision and recognizes Lu Wan's nosy goon keeping watch over the area. Through the fog, the lackey grips a poisoned dagger glowing red, ready to pull off a sneaky backstab. Sporting a twisted smile and gritted teeth, the level 17 goon Lu Tao celebrates, finding the perfect opening to corner the double F kid. Dropping from above like a starving vulture, the rank B assassin goes for maximum slice speed to carve up the hero before he can even blink. Grinning ear to ear, the villain brings down his daggers, fully believing his mercy shot is going to decapitate the trash crafter. Suddenly, a brutal metallic flash explodes across the sand, showing the clash of blades cutting through the valley's fog. Spitting blood on his knees with a nasty gash across his chest, the villain twists in pain, totally clueless about where the counterattack came from. Totally stunned and sweating bullets in the mud, the elite assassin shakes as he realizes he got out, sped by a mere rank F. Walking like a boss through the green fog, the hero drips swagger with his new sword gripped tightly. With an ice-cold stare and his arm resting on his steel blade, the MC drops a humiliating lecture on the trash that tried to catch him slipping. Showing absolute zero respect for the weak assassin down in the dirt, the kid warns him that only Master Lu Yuan himself is even worthy of spicing up this fight. Turning his back coldly on the garbage, the hero starts walking away when a single green leaf slowly flutters down through the forest air. In a split second of pure danger, the floating leaf gets perfectly sliced by an invisible purple energy shooting out of the shadows. Catching the chopped piece of leaf between his fingers with flawless reflexes, the MC flashes a smirk, realizing the real enemy just entered the chat. With a brutal clash of metal that shakes the ground, the elite assassin Lu Yuan steps out of the void, crossing blades with our hero. Rocking a focused and impressed look from behind his bangs, the young master praises his opponent's bright, razor-sharp blade. Gritting his teeth in the tense stare-down with crossed swords, our boy returns the trash talk, giving props to his elite rival's fast weapon. Backing off smoothly with a flawless double backward slide through the mud, the two warriors open up some space to read each other's moves. Dropping into a half-crouched combat stance, the elite assassin announces he wants to test if the kid's #1 ranking is the real deal or totally fake. Shoulders relaxed and not showing a single drop of fear, the MC just finds the high-born rival's salty attitude completely hilarious. Pointing the hilt of his blue steel sword straight ahead, our hero drops a bold bet, putting his own weapon on the line in a death match. Wrapped in a destructive purple wind, the rank S assassin takes the bet with glowing eyes, popping his insane speed buff. Sword chilling on his shoulder looking like an absolute boss, the kid celebrates the chance to score yet another pricey weapon for his inventory entirely for free.